Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Oh, we should be all live and good to go now. Now it's been a minute since I have streamed. I'm talking to myself right now. I don't know if anybody's in here, but welcome back, everyone, to 3 Lines TCG. Today I'm going to be doing a deck building sim, basically, a deck building stream on the sim. Been really wanting to learn some new decks and build some new stuff, so I actually wiped every deck that I have currently on the sim. I'm just going to start over. So we're going to use gumgum.gg for most of our builds here, but there's a couple off-meta builds I want to try that I've seen that look very interesting. I've actually not even read them, so I have no idea what they actually do, but we're going to figure it out today. But of course I wanted to build my Kuzon deck first, which I did build. This is a different variant than I would normally run, but I do think this is maybe a better one. There's a lot more going on, and I may need to experiment with this a bit more. This guy basically just took like one of all of the good event cards and has just put them in here, so it's very situational. I would have this much more structured. Like I would maybe have more Rozonates, maybe one more of those. Definitely get a 4th Garb. I don't think we should be running 3. I think we need at least 4. Like, why is this 7-cost Borsellino in here? On play, place up to 1 character with a cost of 4 or lower to the bottom of its owner's deck. That's not a bad on play, so that's a good combo with the Garb. Aramaki is your blocker, so that's a good blocker combo. They've got Jozu in here too. Might be Pirates though, so he's not a Navy, so you can't actually summon him, so he's just a regular 6-cost 7k. On play, you may return one of your characters other than this card to your hand. Return to 1 cost 6 or lower character to its originals. Yeah, and that's good because you're bumping probably a Searcher and you're getting rid of a 6-cost. Yeah, so lots of situational cards here. Double Pudding's useful, double Gion's good. I mean, I was surprised sometimes. I was thinking of running 4 of these, to be honest. But yeah, maybe you only need 2. We'll see. I mean, this is the deck that won. It went 3-0. And it kind of makes sense because it seems like it has a lot of situational event cards, which I think this deck is it's so weak. So I think you just have to like plan for everything. That's the only thing I can really think of as to why this deck would be quite good. But so that's Kuzon, but I want to build some more stuff. So let's see. Let's start with the off-meta stuff. I don't even know if I can copy. Yeah, okay, so this is the first. I'm very excited to see what this is. I need to read it too. So let's read this off-meta deck. Ironically, it's a leader we just pulled in one of the videos. It's a leader I don't even know this character either because it's from a movie. But it's a Zephyr deck. So, Zephyr the leader When attacking, Don -4. What the fuck? You may return the specified number of Don cards from your field to your Don deck. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less. Then this leader gains 1,000 power during this turn. That's very interesting. Do we have ramp then? We must have a lot of Don ramp if we have to deal with that. I mean, you don't have to do it. I assume. Huh. Okay, Black Maria. I know this is a good one. I think this is the... Yeah, this is OP08. So, active main once per turn. If you have no other Black Marias, add up to 5 Don cards from your Don deck rested. That's your ramp, okay. And at the end of your turn, return Don cards from your field to your Don deck until the number of Don cards on your field is equal to the number of your opponent's field. Okay. That's why that card's so good. That makes sense. I always loved this card, so why is he good? Your turn once per turn. When you return Don on your field to your Don deck, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less. Okay. Chump blocker. If you have 8, Don or more, trash 1 card from your hand and draw 2 cards. Yeah, I mean, these are the 2 staple blockers for purple. I'm not surprised. But they added Katakuri in here, so I know it's, like, relatively new. It seems like they've got all the black carries, and they've got, like, mostly all of the Don ramp you can get with purple. Your carry is Kuzan. The 10 cost Kuzan, your turn. All of your opponent's characters get -5 to their cost. Get up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 0. You know that, and then with Brook, that's a really good combo. We know about Jack. I've not seen this Shirahoshi. This is STO8, so just a 4 cost blocker. Give it to one of your opponent's characters -4 cost during this turn. Oh, that's really good, actually. That's a cool artwork too. Let's see that one. Hello, hello. How I add decks. Are you on the sim? So we got Kuzan, Zephyr. The other one I want to try is very goofy. It's from OP07. Another off meta. And it's Foxy. So Foxy from OP07. Another Don -3 when attacking. That's very interesting. So they almost both have the exact same mechanic. We know about a lot of these cards. Ragnarok's really good. Don -1 KO to one of your opponents costs 8 or less characters. 5. It's just a good card. If you have equal or lower Don than your opponent, activate one of your Foxy. What does that even mean? So maybe one of these. Opponent's turn. If your leader has Foxy type parrots, all your opponent's characters have power -1,000. Activate main once per turn. Add it to one of your rested Don from your Don deck. Interesting. If you need any like codes for these decks, just let me know. I mean, you can only really upload them or add them to the simulator, so you need to make sure you're on the actual sim to be able to do this, but I'm just messing around. I was like wanting to see these. I mean, this seems very off meta because you've got a lot of the carries are going to be the same with a lot of these colors. So purple, this is your carry for most purple decks anyway. Katakuri is just a solid blocker. Sanji's always used in these decks too. Usopp here as well. But the Porsche was interesting because I pulled the alternate art, and I've been trying to sell these cards forever, and they don't sell. So the fact that she's actually in a deck is very interesting to me. So we'll have to figure out how it's actually played. Chopper's your chump blocker, but if your board has Don less than or equal to your opponent's, add it to 1 Don from your Don deck rested, so a bit of a Don ramp. Yeah. Okay, so we've got Foxy and Zephyr off meta. Kuzan is not, I mean it's meta, but it's not good in the meta right Another off-meta deck that looked interesting was Blue-Black Rebecca, which I think is worth a look. So let's see. BB Rebecca. And this uses the Colosseum card, which I know is always very popular. Gravity Blade Raging Tiger is a very good card. Gunga Red Rock. So, a lot of your, you know, Dressrosa black cards, they work really well. They synergize really well with Brook and Sabo anyway. This is the Zora from OP10. I actually never read this when we pulled this, so what does this even do? On play, you may rest one of your Dressrosa type leaders or stages. Okay, that's good. Okay, up to one of your opponent's cost 4 or lower characters, then place the 2 cards if you dig into your trash. Okay, that's really good, actually. Because you're just going to rest this. If your leader has the Dressrosa type, your characters that have Dressrosa type can attack characters on the turn they are played. Oh, shit. That's why this card's good. But you can just rest this with Zoro. Yeah, just rest the stage, right? Because it's Dressrosa. Yeah. And you just get to KO one of your opponent's 4 cost or lower characters. And all you do is trash 2 cards, which I know that would normally be a negative, but it's a black deck, so it's not. You use Rebecca, you can get them straight back. Bartholomew is your blocker. That's a cool jump blocker to have. I may really like this deck for off-meta. This may actually be quite fun. Lots of OP10. Which I never really played a lot of OP10 decks, to be fair, so that would be quite interesting. So, we've now got Rebecca, Foxy, Zephyr off-meta. We know about Kalgara. I think Kalgara is probably the most staple off-meta deck that pretty much everyone uses. You know, generally at locals and stuff like that as well. So, pretty popular off-meta deck. But we do need to rebuild one because he did get some support actually in OP12, which is good. So I need to find a newer deck and let's read. We can change it around a bit if we need to, but here's one. This was 14 days ago. And he does have the new cards. Very good. Okay. Alright. So we've got Kalgara as well. We're getting all the colours, which is good. Those other ones were obviously very blue, purple, black heavy, but Kalgara obviously is yellow. So this we utilize the Ohm Holy combo, which I never knew was a thing until I played Kalgara for the first time, but this has been a combo since OP05. All the new wipers, but I know this Kalgara was new in OP12. 5 cost 6k. When card is removed from you or your opponent's life cards, draw 1 card, then you cannot draw cards until your own. Using your own effects during this turn, yeah, so. But they've got the Kuma, right? So Kuma really helps this deck, keeps it alive. Upper Yard is kind of staple here. Oh, so Gum Red Hawk is used in this deck too, okay. I never actually played this one, but we did pull the alternate art of this. We rest 3 Don cards if both players' total amount of life cards is 5 or more, KO to one of your opponent's characters with the original cost of 5 or less. Okay. So I think that there's only one more. Okay, the only other one that maybe looks interesting as well is Red Blue Marco, because I've never seen anybody play that. So let's try RB Marco. So we've got Otama, which we know. Gordon. You may return this card to the bottom of your deck, give it to one of your opponents. Oh, so that's literally Raise Max. It's the exact same card. Interesting. Thatch. Okay, so Monet Chopper, sure. The OP10s. Newgate's in here. Rayleigh. Okay, this is the secret rare from OP08. 2 of your opponent's characters until the end of your next turn. Yeah, that's a really good one. What's this, a Vankov? I've not seen this one. Reveal the top card of your deck, play it to 1, cost 2 character card, then return the remaining cards to the top and bottom of your deck. When attacking once per turn, if your hand has 6 cards or less, draw a card. Interesting. That's a card draw, of course. You got the Sonji combo, but what are you comboing this Sonji with? The Nugate, I guess? I mean, ideally the Luffy, I guess, as well. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Seems like a fun deck as well. Okay. We've got a lot of off-meta decks now. We've kind of built them out. I want to go through the meta decks now. I want to go ahead and get those uploaded into the sim as well. We know Zoro is just stupid, but should probably just make one just in case. There's a lot of I want to try some OP13 decks as well, of course. We should have those available in the sim, so we may as well start testing out Emu, Roger. Emu is going to be busted anyway, so but I want to try the new Sabo. Oh, sorry, no, Ace. Yeah, red blue Ace may be interesting in OP13. Ty was saying I may enjoy that, so I may build one of those as well. So let's go ahead and do. Oh, I know what deck I want to do. Okay, yeah. Before we go into the meta decks, no, because there's like I don't know. Do I want to? I guess I should make like a Shanks deck and all that stuff too. Okay. Let's see. I don't want to build a Piss Kid deck, but Piss Kid apparently is doing quite well. Let's look at a Rayleigh deck as well, because that deck is just too strong. There's one deck I really want to build, but I almost don't want to spoil it because there's not really anybody in here right now, and I feel like I want to wait. I want to save that one. Right. Let's get our Zoro deck in, I guess. Ooh, Zoro gets more support in OP13. Oh shit. Oh, eh. Okay. This seems like a completely different Zoro deck, so let's do OP13 Zoro. It may not even have it, yeah. Does it even have it? It should do. There it is. See, this is the new one. So you've got a Zoro OP13. On play, if your leader has the film or Straw Hat crew type, set up to 2 of your Don cards as active. Okay. Come on, bro. End of your turn, set this character as active. What the fuck? You tell me that's a 2 cost 5k? the fuck, man? Okay. Where was the other one? I think it was this. It was law. If you have one or less life cards, this character gains blocker. Okay. So 6 costs, 6k blocker. What's the catch? On play, you may return one character to your hand. So you bump a searcher to your hand. Play up to one character card with a cost of 5 or less from your hand rested. Okay. So in theory, if you played Trafalgar Law, 6 cost, at, you know, I guess 6 Don, 7 Don, however you want to do it, you could bump your searcher back to your hand. Right, so you can utilize it again next turn. But then you could play Zoro, right? Because the whole point with Zoro is that at the end of the turn, it becomes active, right? So when you, with Law, you get it onto the field, 5 or less, right? So it's 5 cost or less, so Zoro is fine for that. Obviously, you can do it with Cavendish as well, because you're utilizing on-play effects here. But, yeah. Play up to one character card with a cost of 5 or less from your hand rested. So you play Zoro rested. You activate his on play. So you gain another 2 Dom, right? So basically, if you did that combo, this becomes a 4 cost 6k blocker that can summon Zoro onto the field, and then he becomes active at the end of the turn. So then you have a 4 cost 5. What else have we got? What's that guy's actually named Monster. That's interesting. Okay. Sorry, I just know that that's Charlie's name and everything that he ever does. I was like, ain't no way Charlie's out here playing in Japan. Alright, I want to look up the Portuguese de Ace red-blue build. Oh, let's get Roger while we're here. Let's do a little drive-by on Roger. Roger's gonna be fucking stupid. Ty played Roger into me, and I was like, bro, he had 10 Don on like turn 3. So stupid. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, that's a dope card though. I love that Odin card. What the fuck? For an uncommon? Yep. It's going in the PC. What does it do though? 5 cost, 6k blocker. On play, if you have Don cards, if you have any Don cards given, what? If you have any Don cards given, add up to 1 Don card from your Don deck as rested. Right, because Roger gets the Don, right? Yeah. Okay. Why they have the 6 cost? The 6 cost Uta here. Wait, is it even right? Oh yeah, they are here. Oh, the Shanks looks so dope. Yeah, Douglas Bullet is so stupid. If you have 8 or more Don on the field, this gains 2,000 power, so it becomes a 3 cost 6k, which is what ends up happening. But on play, if your leader has the Roger type, gain 1 Don. It's just like, every single card in this deck ramps Don, if you have the Roger Pirates. So every card you play, you get Don. It's just it's so overbearing. Very good deck, though. It's going to be a pain in the ass to play against, though. So we may as well, learn it while we can. Got a lot of deck selection now. So we've got OP13 Roger, OP13 Zoro, because Zoro does get an update in OP13 by the looks of it. We need to get Emu, we need to try Emu, Sabo, and Ace as well. Ty said I'd really like Ace, so I want to look at that first. Let's do that first. We get Young Garb. Oh, and we get Booba Yamato. Is it red, blue? RB Ace. On your opponent's attack, once per turn, you may trash one card from your hand. Give it to one of your opponent's leaders or characters with minus 2,000 power during this battle. Don times 1 once per turn when you receive damage or your character... Sorry. When you receive damage or your character with 6k base power or more is KO'd, draw a card. Oh, okay. That's a weird effect. That's interesting though. Okay. Garp, your searcher. Jozu. Brush. This is the Yamato. To one rested Don card to your leader, then this character gains rest during this turn. Okay, that's pretty good. So Uta, we've seen Otama. If you have 3 or less life cards, draw 2 cards, then trash 1 card from your hand. How much life does Ace have? He has 3 life. He has 3 life. Oh, fuck. On opponent's attack, you may trash this character. Draw 1 card, place 1. What the fuck is this new gate? This one looks dope. What the fuck? 10 cost 12k blocker. On play, draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from your hand. Then give your leader and up to one of your characters up to 2 rested Don cards. Damn. That artwork goes pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. If you have 3 or less life cards, draw 2 cards, then give it to one of your rested Don cards to your leader. Okay, so that is the theme with this. It just seems so difficult, because 3 Don is just... You gotta be really careful with how you play this. This is like... Well, my problem is, with this feels like UP Luffy, but how are you protecting yourself? You've got 2 radical beams? Okay, what is this card? This is 8 Don. I mean, this is going to take forever to get to this. If your leader has... I know, obviously, your leader ability, right? I mean, that really helps. You can trash a card, and then you can minus 2,000. I mean, that's going to protect you from at least 1 attack, but it's only once per turn. You do have 6k power, though. Fuck, I didn't notice that. Okay, you know what? That's a fair trade. That is fair. 3 life is fair there, I think. This seems okay. Marco 4 to 6 blocker, draw 2 cards on KO. Solid. I didn't even read this. So what does this do? Because why do I have 4 of them? Main. If your leader is Whitebeard, yep. Play up to 1 Newgate from your hand. Sure, why not? Yeah. Then you may add the top or bottom card of your life cards into your hand. If you did, give it to one of your leader. Give one of your leader plus 2,000 power into the end of it. Interesting. No, I mean, you're just playing that to play Newgate. I just don't feel with 3 life at 8 Don taking a life to give your leader 2,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. Actually, okay, that's not too bad at the end of your next turn. Yeah, I mean that could potentially Yeah, I mean, that could potentially be game winning. I'm going to use that at the end there. It's not bad. It's actually not a bad card. Yeah, it really isn't a bad card, because you can basically, you're guaranteed to get a 10 cost on the field for 8 Dom. And if you've only got one life remaining anyway, and you are absolutely fucked next turn, it may be the better move to just go ahead and do that, get the extra 2,000 power, because then they're gonna have to start swinging into you at 8k, because your leader already has 6k. It's actually really good. Okay, yeah, I think Ty is right. I think I will enjoy that deck. Very interesting. Okay, lots to learn, but I don't mind this. This is the whole point. I want to build a bunch of stuff, and then we'll just learn it all. I got to play against people to learn them though, so I'm gonna need yeah, Matt. Yeah. Did you hear that? I've not been active in chat. But I'm gonna move you guys over here actually, so we can actually see if you guys talk. But yeah. Do you see this ace deck, Matt? I think it's gonna be fun. If you kind of read what I was talking about there, I think you may enjoy this too. But this kind of seems up my alley. This is very risk-reward heavy. Lots of control in terms of lots of draw. You can get lots of card draw. And you're really just trying to get to you're trying to get to 8 as quick as possible so you can get your 10. Pudding's just solid. Yeah, it seems like a good deck, honestly. I think this is the only one you would replace. It's good though. I mean, it's 5 cost 6k. It doesn't do anything, but it's Whitebeard Pirates and it's got 2k counter. That's the only. It's 2k counter. That's why it's in your deck. But there's probably not a better 5 cost. That's Whitebeard Pirates friendly. That's blue. That works. You know. Maybe you get rid of one of those, and then maybe put in one extra Gum Red Rock. That'd maybe be where I'd edit. But yeah. Yeah, I was here for the beginning of the deck. Red-blue seems interesting to play. I mean, it actually looks really fun. So I think we both might like that one. So that's ace. Let's look at. Have you been here since the start? Have you seen all the off-meta stuff that I built as well? Because that's going to be interesting as well. I want to look at Emu. We have to, because right now black is not in a good spot. I mean, you can try and play Moria, but you really your only option right now is Rob Lucci and why am I drawing a blank? Blackbeard. But honestly, Rob Lucci's just like he's losing more and more, so it's just like I think Blackbeard's just better because of the anti-on play. So Emu, it will bring black back. But what's ironic is that it's not a black deck. It's just not. Like, it just doesn't function the way a normal black deck would. So it's not even really going to be that helpful, but, I mean, it's still something. Let's see. Yeah, this is the card. It's like all of them put together. Yeah. This is like, I would say Emu, for me, is the first Yu-Gi-Oh deck I've seen in One Piece. This is legitimately a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. This is literally, you are fusion summoning a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. You know. Here's one of your dragons, or the 5-headed dragon. This is one of your dragons, one of your other dragons, another dragon, another dragon, another dragon. There's your fucking polymerization, and boom, you know? I mean, that's basically what this is, which is interesting, but it's stupid how you can, I think you can interchange them, like that you can make them one card, then they can be all 4 separate cards, and all 4 separate cards, they all do certain things. Some of them are blockers, some of them have rush, like, it's just overbearing. It seems like a very overbearing deck. It's winning like no other right now. It's like 5-0 every time it plays. So, what up, Fred? So I think emo is going to continue to be a problem, unfortunately. But it is what it is. So we've got Emu, we've got Roger, we've got the new OP13 Zoro, we built the Ace deck. Sabo is red-black, so Sabo might be interesting. So let's see what is being played in the East for Sabo. There's a couple, but I don't know which one. Let's see. I want a decent store that has done quite well. Let's see. Alright, so this Sabo went 5-0. Spicy. Let's do this one. This was built on the 17th, so 3 days ago. Let's see what red black Sabo looks like. Fucking dope, Lena. Have you watched One Piece or do you just play? Oh, yeah, I've watched One Piece, brother. We are caught up, my friend. I'm a fan all over. I collect, I play, I watch, I do Zoro things. I changed, Probably my favorite thing of this. Oh shit! I didn't mean to load that. Probably my favorite thing that I did was change the background. Because I could, if I go in here, you can just see him, see Zoro in full. But if you've not caught up, then you don't even know what this scene is yet. So Matt, you don't even know what this is yet, but it's peak. That's what it is. That's all you need to know. So we were looking at Sabo. So let's see. Let's have a read. We know what Bello Betty is, because I run Bello Betty, so that's your searcher. Oh, and you do run the Rev Army, so I already know 2 of the cards. This is your Koala from OP12, your Hack, your Morley. Okay. You run St. Marcus in there. That's interesting. If you have 7 or more cards in your trash, this character cannot be removed from the field by your opponent's card effects and gains blocker. Yeah, that's why that deck is so strong, because you're always going to have 7 cards in your trash. You may trash 1 card from your hand, KO up to one character with a base cost of 5 or less. Jesus, okay. Lots of Sabos. So the Secret Rare Sabo, Secret Rare Sabo in OP13, confirmed. It's a cool card too. Blocker, 6 cost, 7k, blocker, activate main once per turn, up to one of your characters gains +2 cost until the end of your opponent's next turn, then give it to one rested Don to your leader. Okay, interesting. Do you even read what the leader does? If you have 4 or more life cards, which this has 5 life, okay, give this leader -1000 power. Alright, nerfed. Don ×1, if you have a character with a cost of 8 or more, all of your characters or leaders gains 1000 power. That's very interesting. Okay, so your goal is to get to Dragon, I guess. So this is your carry. So on play, you may place 3 Rev Army type cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck in any order. If your leader is Rev Army, play up to 1 character card with a cost of 6 or less from your trash. Oh shit! That's the SR from OP12. We never pulled him. That's why I've never seen that card. No, we never pulled him in the OP12 packs. Who's your least favorite One Piece character then? I mean, yeah, I guess you've not watched me, so you don't know. I get shit on all the time for it, but there's only one answer, bro. It's fucking Sabo. No, it's not Sabo. I'm kidding. It's Usopp. That's on the crew. If you want to talk character, that's completely different, right? Because, I mean, there's so many characters that fucking suck. But if you're talking about the crew, then that's the spicy take. It's not a spicy take. Usopp sucks. If you really like Usopp, if you think it's like he's there for the comedic relief, if you think that they relied that heavily on him for comedic relief, then Jesus. Everyone's funny on the ship. He's just kind of useless. He is funny, though. I mean, you know, early on, they're funny. I get it, but... He may get stonks in Elbath, hopefully. I don't know. They're talking about he might get, like, the hammer... He may get, like, Thor's hammer. He may just become, actually, a god Usopp. And you know what? If that's how it happens, that's how it happens. I'm all for it. Oda has been playing, like, 7D chess, so I'm not, you know... I'm invested at this point. I don't care. Right. A couple other ones I want to build. So we need. I want to do the OP12 ones because I've not done any of the meta ones. I've not played Rayleigh. I've not played Sonji, which Ty really likes a lot. I played Zoro once and it was just too easy, so it's not even really that fun. And Nell is making a comeback because Rayleigh's in the meta, which. Is kind of... And Nell went 7-0 last week. Jesus, alright. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and copy it just in case, but I don't really want to be seen to... How would you rank the crew then? 1 to 9. Zoro? Zoro's number 1 for me. So, let's import that. Okay. Yeah, I know exactly. I know exactly how this deck works. This is exactly what Ty was talking about Stu. This is the card. Activate once per turn, you may rest this stage and on one of your Anels, KO all of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less. Also, what the hell? A little Nami Gyat on the back there too? Okay. Back to the list. I don't know, I'd have to really think about it, but Zoro's number 1 for me. I guess you gotta, like, I've gotta, like, really think about it, because I've gotta think, what's the question? Is it my favorites in terms of their personalities, in terms of, like, you know, their power, you know, everyone's so power scale hungry. I think favorite characters has gotta be, like, Zoro on the crew. It's like I should say Luffy. I want to say Luffy second. I feel like that's probably safe. But I'm struggling because I really like Brook. I really like Frankie. And I really like Nami. I really like Nika Robin. Jinbei's my boy. I know Usopp's last, so I know who's first and last. Chopper's cute too, you know? I mean, I don't know. It's so hard. So this guy has the Zoras instead of the Jinbeis. I think I prefer the Jinbei. you really need to run these two? Why is this one good? Activate main once per turn. You may add one card from your life area to your hand. This character gains 2,000 power during this turn. You give this character 2 rested cards. Jinbei? Brook being last, I can't agree with that at all. But fair enough, I guess. I don't know how Brook could be last on the list. I don't know how Brook could ever be behind Usopp. You hate his gimmick of him being a skeleton? Him having immortal life? Being the Soul King? I don't know how far you are, but Brook could be, like, one of the most important characters in the whole show. Could be. We don't know. He could have some, he could actually be Navy. He could be a celestial dragon for all we know. This is an interesting Sanji deck. I don't know if this is the one you, like, Ty would normally run. Would he? There was no way he would have a random 1-cost Kane in here. I guess it's a chump blocker. It's fine. Plus, he didn't do much till Whole Cake. Hello, it's been a while. Really, deck, I see. I'm on episode 939. Yeah, bro, you're not even caught up. I'm sorry. Get back to me when you're caught up. I think your opinions will change. A lot happens in that time frame that you're at, so my opinions are completely different to yours. What up, Nixon? Good to see you, buddy. How we doing? You're on Egghead now? Hell yeah, bro. He's finally made it to the promised land. So you've now officially seen why Zora's my favorite character. You've made it, dude. Finally. Like, I'm telling you, not like if you've not finished Wano, don't talk to me about a character list. I'm sorry. Wano is, in my eyes, has been the best arc up to this point. Yeah, well, best arc. It's debatable, but it's a close in terms of fights. It's number one. You can't. There's no. I don't think there's any debate. So, and that includes Brook. That includes Brook. I'm telling you. So, Fred, get back to me on that one. I mean it out of heart too. I truly think you'll change your mind. But I do like Jinbei being up there. Jinbei is fucking amazing. I think Jinbei after that Big Mom scene, you know, he became goated after that. That was his moment. Right, so we've got distracted there. So we've got Sanji, we've got Rayleigh. I don't even know if that's the right Sanji deck. I may have to ask Ty to send me the one that he normally runs. I wanted to build a Bonnie deck. Should probably build a Piss Kid deck. Blue Yellow Nami would be interesting as well. I've seen people actually running that. I want to look at... Okay, this Bonnie won a regional tournament, this deck, so it's probably a pretty decent deck to copy, eh? Yeah, Jinbei is the GOAT. I will not deny that. I will, if I was really gonna think about it, I think I would put Jinbei in front of Luffy. I think I would agree with you on that. I do think it's probably like seriously Zoro. For me, it's like Zoro and like I seriously think it's like a three-way tie. It's like that's why it's so hard between Jinbei, Luffy, and Sanji. Like those three characters mean a lot to me, and it's really hard to. I think you can interchange them, you know. And then I think next has to be either in. I think for me it has to be Brook. Yeah, I think it has to be Brook. I think I have to put Brook fourth. Like I seriously do. And then maybe like, because the thing is, if I put like Nico Robin or Nami there, like, I would say Robin's backstory is more compelling, but Nami has better booba. So you know, it just depends on how you're ranking them. but yeah, I think that would be my top four. And then Chopper would go before Usopp, because he's at least cute and useful because he's a doctor. And he keeps the carries alive. Trust me, it's all good. I got it from deck profile. Me and my brothers have been ranking all the characters we've had so far, and our S tier is hilarious and serious. Yeah. I'd be curious to... Here's the thing about me ranking One Piece things. I love One Piece, but the One Piece community can be a little autistic at times. So, I mean, Nixon's a great example. Not a great example of that, but you know because you've been in the chat when it's happened. But we've had a guy come in here and said that Sakazuki is his favorite character. Yeah, Sakazuki is your favorite character in the One Piece show. It's either a troll, which it 99% is, or you have a major mental health disorder that you might want to get checked out. Because I don't know how you could have one of the most hated characters be your favorite, unless that's the reason why he's the most hated, so you want to be favorite because you want to be, you know, cool and hipster or whatever. Doesn't make you cool, by the way. Just makes you wrong for the most part. And it's kind of like an edgy opinion. But the take that every time you argue with somebody, the take is like, he's really good at his job, dude. He's really good because he killed Ace. He's really damn good at his job. I'm like, so you're going to be like, I love the character that's really good at killing people. Like, I really love that. That's a really cool character. Oh, Navy as well? Yeah. Oh, cool. Like, just a bad take overall. Why is Lim being played again in OP13? What the fuck? Lim getting support? I mean, it doesn't seem new. We'll throw it in there. Okay. Got a lot of choices now. Okay, so we've got some off meta, which Nixon, I don't think you were here for the off meta builds. There's one more I was saving until we got some people in here that I want to build now, and I don't know if anybody knows about it. It's a underground off meta cryptocurrency build. It's like, seriously, it's so fucking cool. I can't wait to build this thing. Let's see, what does chat say? Can you build my Shanks deck? Maybe. Kizaru is funny. He's also really bad at his job. Killed Navy for running away and killed citizens. Was gonna kill Kobe for saying, stop killing. Yeah, I don't mind Kizaru. Actually, Kizaru is, like, Borsalino is actually, like, one of my favorite. Well, I think Kuzan and Borsalino are definitely, they're more likable. I mean, even they're more hateable, but they're more likable. Like, they have more nuance. I don't know a lot about Psycho. I know there's probably some sad backstory, but I just don't give a fuck. It's too moody. Okay. Yeah, now I've got to try and find it, though. I've got to go to a screenshot that Ty sent me. So I gotta do some deep dive here. There's when you say Charlos is your favorite character, I just saw that one. I have it in my hands right now. What's that? The DM. Oh, here it is. It's so funny. Okay, are you ready? Are you guys ready for this deck? It's so good. What should I call it? I'm gonna call it Vicky Warrior. Alright, let's build this. We don't have a deck list for this, we just have to manually build it, so get ready for this. Blue. 4. Charlotte pudding. Sora. This one. And then your first carry, Cracker. And then there's your other carry, Mr. Cracker Soldier. I feel like this deck is gonna look shitty, but it's actually really good. I'm telling you right now. I actually, Nixon, if you're available, I want to play against you with this deck. Because I want to figure out why it's so stupid. Concasse. I've not read it. Like, I kind of understand what it does. But I haven't actually played it, and it's I think it's a little bit of an underground one. Like I said, some guy already made a fucking YouTube video about it. It's pricks, man. It's like you get a good deck, you get liquid gold, and they just have to fucking monetize it, and then everyone and their mums knows about it. Where right now it's exclusive because there's only fucking 5 of us in here. Anyway, it's inevitable, so you gotta take advantage while you can. King of the Pirates, Luffy-sama. And that's 4, and then that's it. That's your whole deck. Because you know what you put in the rest of it? What is it? Cracker? That's right! You stack Cracker Soldiers! Wait, that's way too many. I gotta look. It's going to 51. And there we go. And you're thinking, how is that possible, sir? You can only have 4 copies of one card. Well, per the rules, you may have any number of this card included in your deck. So, we put 15 of them in our deck, because we use Cracker. Activate main once per turn, Dom -1, play up to 1 Cracker Soldier from your hand. You guessed it. You just summon a bunch of 5-cost 5k blockers. It is primo. Nixon, I swear, I'm telling you right now, just copy this, and because these are commons. These are from OP08. I think I've got like 7 of them. I think I found 7 of them just in my book. So if you're able to go to like a local or go to your friends or whatever, pull this shit out, they're gonna be like, I'm telling you. Yeah, I think it's got some potential. I want to try it out. This is what I was talking about in the last video that I did. I wanted to build this deck so bad because when Ty showed it to me, I was like, there's no way. So some guy has read that ability, read that common from OP08, which was the cheapest set to ever release, and everyone shat on it. Like, everyone's... Like, OP08 has, like, the least value. Like, there's a couple playable cards, of course, like the Rayleigh, but for the most part, OP08 is shit, right? And it's like, no, there's some hidden gems in OP08. There's some hidden support. For Big Mom Pirates, especially. Amazing deck. Yeah. So, now we're going to try it. I'll play against myself. Unless you're available, Nixon. Because I'll learn it on the fly if not, but I want to... The downside here is if I've got to learn 2 decks at once if I do it like this. So actually, let's do it like this. Nixon, you said you wanted me to build your Shanks deck? I mean, I don't mind. I can do that. While we're here. But that would require you to send me a full deck list, and that took forever last time, so... Let me, what's the brain off deck that I should know? I can just build my Bella Betty deck, I guess. That's a good practice too, because Bella Betty is just stupid. Actually, I just know it on the top of my head. Let me just build it. I'm just going to make my Bella Betty deck, and I'll use that to practice against myself. Red yellow. Next time we do stream, I might have a new one. I just didn't have the deck. Can do it quick this time. Oh, yeah. You're gonna get so much OP8 for Christmas? Alright. You can use this if you want as well. This is actually the deck I've been running in person. It's the only deck I was really able to complete a couple months ago, and it's still very good. Rayleigh beats the fucking brakes off it now, though. I think Rayleigh is just a better version of this deck. This was really good into UP Luffy. So UP Luffy was the meta a couple months ago, and it was just a cancer to play against. So Bella Betty was the best counter to it. And now Bella Betty is like, it's still solid. Like, I definitely feel like I could still get a lot of wins with my deck. I just think it's a very solid red deck. But if I go into Rayleigh, even if I get the perfect draw, it's still very, very hard to win. But the cool thing about my Bella Betty deck is I know all the cards in it, but there are so many different like little things you can interchange and switch out. Like, you could run 4 raise maxes, but really you maybe only want to run 2. Or maybe you really only want to really run 1. But I'm going to run 2, I think, in this case. Here, I'll just type in Rev Army and all of them will show up. So you need 4 of those. I like to run 4 of these, but maybe we run just 2 of those, but let's just run 4. 4 of those. 4 of those, 4 of those, 4 of those, 4 of those. 2, technically 3 if I want, but we run 4 of those. What are we at? 41. Yeah, I think I'll run 3 of those. 4 of those. Here's the thing, I would normally run the 4-cost 5k Kuma here, because it's really utilized for trigger and counter, but they added the new Kuma, and I feel like, it's not good though, because this is a glass cannon deck, so you really shouldn't be even attempting to even think about healing, because that's not how you win with this deck. So although it's a good card and it's probably useful, you know what, actually, let's run 1. Let's run 1 for an experiment, and we'll run 2 koalas, because I think normally we would run 3 koalas. So let's replace one of the 6-cost koalas for a Kuma. You know what, fuck it, let's run 2. And then we need 1 more card, right? Sorry, it's black text, I can't see. So 50 on 51. What am I missing? I feel like I might be missing something obvious. Am I missing something obvious? I shouldn't run Chump Blocker. I don't think. What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something. Fuck. No, I don't think I... yeah, we'll just put one in there. Okay. Sorry, all that. Alright, let's see what Bicky Warrior's all about, eh? Let's see how it plays. What time is it for you right now? It is 12:45 a.m. and we've got a forest match tomorrow, so I'm not going to be on for too long. Got to wake up pretty early. Match I think starts at 9. But come on, we play Burnley. We should be fucking easy win. I'm so fucking mad with Forest right now. Right. What do we mulligan? What do we keep? I don't know. Let's test it out. So what does this one do? This is the 1 cost. You'll leave the Sanji, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Put 1 card to your hand, place the rest of the button. So that's your searcher, so we will keep. We've got 1 of them, that's good enough for me. If I was playing Bello Betty, I would mulligan that. And that's unlucky. So we will go ahead and use the event to do a search. What do we want to be searching? I'm assuming for soldiers. Gungan Giant could be good though, right? It's good defense. And I'm thinking if I'm going against a Bello Betty, Gungan Giant might not be bad. Let's get the Bicky Warrior in. The Cracker Soldier. Right, so you draw a card here, you'd have 2 Don, I'd play this Koala, and then go. We've got so many of them. I guess this is the problem. We need to make sure we have a we need to have a Charlotte Cracker as well as all the soldiers. 3. Okay. So Buford Burst. I've talked about this in the video when we pulled it. This seemed like a very utility card. I can't remember what Sanji's ability does. Ty's played against me a lot with it, but I can't remember what it does. So activate main once per turn. Don -1. Activate up to 1 Straw Hat type event card from your hand with an original cost of 3. So I could basically play this for free if I wanted to. When attacking, if the number of Don cards on your field is equal to or less than the number of your opponent's field, and up to 1 Don card from your Don deck considered as active. Okay. If your leader is multicolored, choose 1. Return up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less to your owner's hand. If you have 6 or less cards in your hand, draw 2 cards. If your leader is Sanji, draw a card. If you have 4 more event cards in your trash, up to 1 of your leaders gains 4,000 power during this battle. Okay. I just love seeing all these Cracker soldiers. This is crazy. Okay. Wait. Okay, let me just test this out. So if I do Dom -1, return it, I can play this, right? And then I can draw 2 more cards. Bingo bango. And then when I'm attacking, if my Don are equal to or less, which they are now because I went ahead and did that, I can gain a rested Don, so I get that for free. Pretty cool. So I just got free card draw there. It's not bad. And you get 2 of your event cards in your trash, which you need to be able to sort of carry, I guess. So if I was Bello Betty here, would I counter? Would I bother? Yeah, I probably would, actually. I probably would. Because I don't need that many Kumas. So we've got 4 Don now, so I would I'd really be playing aggressive. So I can do this once per turn, so I technically... Oh, no, I don't think I can. It's active main, so I can only do it when it's on my turn. Okay, cool. So we take a life, no trigger. Okay. So now I have 10 cards in my hand. So I think we start, right? This is where you do it. So, for 4 Don, you play Cracker, sacrifice a Don, but you get a soldier out, which is a 5-cost 5k blocker. And we can do that now once per turn. And then we can search again if we want to. We could also pudding. Actually, I own Dom. The rest is catch look at top. Yeah, I think we want to. Guess we want a pudding. We want a pudding to find Cracker. I guess that's the whole point, right? Yeah, that's your search for that. That makes sense. I don't know what Zora does. I don't know what Sonji's mum. I don't know what that card does. But we don't want to. Well, I guess Don doesn't matter though, does it? It doesn't matter in this deck. It doesn't matter. We don't fucking need Don. That's the whole point of this. Oh my god, that's the whole point of this. We don't mind. We don't mind sacrificing Don here. Think about it. We only need 4 Don to get Cracker out. That's it. Because otherwise we can permanently get these soldiers out. We just have to sacrifice the Don. And everything else is 1 cost and event cards, counters in your deck. So, in theory, I should be just doing this. I should be returning another Don. I should just go ahead and use this and search again. You should leave the Sonji and the number Don cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field up to 1 Don card from Don deck. And rest it. Then draw a card. That's on play though. Just gotta use that. Yeah, just get another Cracker. I mean, I don't know. This seems really good. Then we gain a rested Don. Go back to 4. We're doing 5 on 5. They wouldn't block. Would I counter out this? Yeah. Yeah, probably. I'd probably try. Yeah, this is one better that you can quite going up. So now we would do this. That's the power play. Then maybe just put a blocker for safekeeping. Then you're doing some crazy swings. 5 into 5. And Cracker Soldier does have plus 1,000 counter. Okay, that's good as well. So you trash that. Doesn't matter. And they do 7k to life. Which we'll probably just take. And then 8, we can't block into it. So we'd have to trash, but let's just say we take. And then technically this we could block, right? Maybe we'd do that. Because we can always get these out. Okay. So we take a lot of life there. It's going to happen against a Bella Beta deck, but now they have no resource technically. So we draw. We're at 6 Don now. And now we can get another Cracker out. Don -1. Get you on the field. Go ahead and activate him. Don -1. Get another one on the field. Crazy. We've still got 2 Don left. We'd probably want to hold it, right? Just for counter, because we don't really need anything else, because this is our whole deck. We're just going to have permanent blockers on the field. We just leave the counter in a hand, I think. We'll always get a Don when we attack with Sonji. We'll always ramp, because we're always going to have less. Yeah. We'd want to clear board now, though, pretty desperately here. So we would want to be doing this, gain. They wouldn't block that. 5 on 5. Honestly, I'd probably still lose here because I'm gonna just go ahead and do that. Yeah. And then at 8 Dawn, I'd play this minus 1,000. I'd trash. Probably wouldn't have done it like that. I maybe would have been a bit more careful with the resource, but... So 9 into 4, we'd block. 7 into 4. Just go ahead and block again. And then even if we attack with blocker, it'd be 7 again. Would you want to attack with the blocker? Maybe they wouldn't, because they're a bit nervous. They've got no utility in their hands, so maybe they would say no. And then we rinse and repeat. So we permanently have 2 blockers every turn for 2 Dawn. That's what this deck is. And then I think here... with 5 Dawn, we'd really only want to spend maybe 2 Dawn here. Yeah. Would we want to do 6k swings? Or would we want to do 1 7k swing? Yeah, I'd probably do 5 into 5 here, right? Force block, but they probably wouldn't. Then 5 into 5 here, probably take life. Wouldn't do a trigger. Then I'd probably pop 2 on this. Bang, bang. Gain arrested Dawn. They would block. Resolve. And we ain't go. Bicky Warrior, yeah. Sorry, I'm not reading. If it works, I might have to re-download it and add my Shanks deck quickly. It doesn't work. Is the Gum Gum Giant in there to be annoying, or is it good for this deck, or both? Gum Gum Giant is just good. In this case, it's kind of vital in this deck because we don't really care about having 10 Dawn. We don't really care about how much Dawn we have. So sacrificing 2 Dawn in order to draw 2 cards and give your leader plus 4,000 power, it's just so good. I mean, you can't. It's just such a brick wall. You can't kill me. And if I start stacking them in my hand, I just have to leave 3 Dawn up, and you can't win. So it's just a very good card. It was why it was utilized in every UP Luffy deck, because this is exactly how that deck would play, right? You would have 3 Dawn. So if you could attack early, like with Bello Betty, and get you down to 0 Dawn and win really quickly, then that's how you would beat that deck. But otherwise, it didn't matter that he had 3 Dawn. 3 life. It didn't matter that he had 3 life. He would just use Gum Gum Giant, and you can't kill him. So he would always have 2 or 3 in his hand, and he would gladly sacrifice, 6 Dawn to stay alive, because next turn he's going to swing 7 times with 8k characters, So that's kind of how that deck worked. So Gum Gum Giant is just good in general in purple decks. But it's best when you have cards that can utilize ramping Don, which obviously most purple decks give you the ability to ramp Don. That's the whole point of it. So honestly, it's perfect for this deck, but that's generally why it's used in a lot of purple decks. It's just so 4,000 power counter is just so good for 1 cost, and the fact that you only have to get rid of 1 card to then draw 2 cards, which those 2 cards can potentially have more counter. That's potentially another 4k counter you just drew, right? So that's why it's so good, and that's why people were asking for it to get banned. Like a lot of people were really pissed off with this card. It's not that OP. I still think it's quite balanced. Balanced is not maybe the right word. I don't think it's as OP as people really make it out to be. But I understand how frustrating it can be when, you know, a purple deck has 8 to 9 Dawn at that point. They've ramped, and they just have 3 of these in their hand. You can't really win. You can't, you know, they're countering with 12k. You know, you can't really do anything about that. So, right, Bella Betty. 10 Dawn here. I would play this, minus 1,000. Trash. 3/3. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't have done that in this situation when I think about it, because I'm just like in panic mode right now. But I would, you know, I would be still trying to attack here. You do this, but I'm just gonna block it. And then even if you attach all your Don here to this, guess what? I just block it again. So I prevent those 2 attacks. I draw a card. Guess what? It's another Cracker Soldier, because I've got fucking 15 of them. And then we're gonna rinse and repeat. We sacrifice the Don, get another one out, sacrifice another Don, and we get another one out. It's so crazy. Okay, and then we've got 6 Don left to play around with if we want. And really, in theory, what we should have done probably last turn is get rid of Pudding. We may as well have another 5k that can swing at least, so we get another attack. And we'll leave those 2 Don up. Not that it matters that much now. Actually, I'll leave 1 up, so that when I attack with this, it's guaranteed, right? Gain, no block. That would have been guaranteed anyway, because they got no cards in their hand, but it doesn't matter. So now they have to take. No trigger, and also no counter. 5 in 5. Have to take. No trigger, but does have counter. And then we end go. Shit, I misclicked. Well, that's not fair. I would have probably done something different there. Doesn't matter though. I think it was inevitable. So, yeah. Deck's pretty strong. So we counter, right? And then you attack again. And then they would be like, well, we're gonna maybe take life. They'd probably counter again, right? And then you'd counter again. And I could attack with the blockers at this point if I wanted to as well. And they've actually got no counter, so they would just lose. But I obviously would have swung with 14k here, and they would have won it. I would have won either way. Obviously, I skipped their go. I mean, they would have gotten a Vankov. We would have gotten a Vankov play, right? So a Vankov into... actually, no, we wouldn't have. Because a Vankov... No, Rev Army was from life, so yeah, it would have been a Vankov into... Carousel. So that would have been a decent play. But it still wasn't enough to win. So this deck would have still won. It's crazy. Right, well, now you know. Bicky Warrior is carry. That's crazy. That's such a fun deck. You see how it works? You just, so as long as you, so the whole goal is search to get your Charlotte Cracker, right? And you want 2 of them in your hand. And then the second you get to 4 Dawn, you play your Cracker and then if you've got 2 of them on the field, you will permanently have 2 blockers every single turn that have 5k. I want to be so pissed off. Let's see this in locals. I'm telling you right now, especially where you are, I don't think you're going to see it in New Zealand. I would do this. That one is going to have it. I mean, I seriously think you build that. And I think it's so off meta that people aren't going to, they're going to look at you because I did the same thing. When I read this card, I was like, wait, why do they have 15 of them? But it's per the rules, you may have any number of this card included in your deck. So they're going to look at you like you're a noob, because they're going to be like, bro, you know you can only have 4 cards, 4 copies of 1 card in your deck, right? Like, this is an illegal deck. But then when you actually read it, it's not illegal. Like, this is legal. This is fair. So, dude, I'd say run it. I say fuck it and run it. I don't know if you've played into Kuzan, the new Kuzan, but I can show you how that deck works as well. It's quite fun. I want to try this one too, because this one's... Why am I loading? Come on. This one's a little bit of a situational deck. I think it has potential. It's just so weak right now into some of the meta decks. Let's just stay with Bello Betty, because Bello Betty's going to shit on Kuzan though, to be fair. Yeah, I don't. Kuzan's the weakest deck in here, so I'm going to lose anyway. Such a shit draw. I would have to mulligan that, right? Yeah, I'd have to mulligan that. Aye. Yeah, this deck is so weak early. You have no, like, 1 costs. Really. So, we would search. And in this case, we grab a Vankov. Go. Can you build Shanks now? Have the Kuzan leader, just haven't bothered making a deck of it. Will you be going to the release party for the LTD01? Huh? What is that? Yeah, I mean, I think Kuzan has a lot of potential. I think it's a decent deck. I'll show you kind of what it does here, but a lot of these cards, it's a really cheap deck. Like, you'll probably have a lot of these cards. So that's why it's a fun deck to build, because it's actually buildable. It's like, it's obtainable, you know? It's not like a $700 deck. Hina's just good to have on the field, because we don't want to utilize her yet, but if you've read it, activate main, you may rest this character, trash 1 card from your hand, which, if you don't know, anytime there's a blue navy card that says you trash a card from your hand, Kuzan, his effect, allows you to draw a card, equal to the number of cards that were trashed due to that effect, right? So this is it's not a negative, right? Trashing a card is not a bad thing in this deck. It's actually, it gives you more card draw. So this, you basically get to rest this card, draw a card, up to one of your opponent's characters with an original cost of 4 or less cannot activate blocker during this turn. So if they've got a chump blocker and they're using that to survive, which in Bello Betty's case, this would be a 3-cost Carousel blocker, right? I can utilize this effect, and then they won't be able to use that blocker, so I can go for a kill shot. So this is kind of like, I know it's 3 Don, and maybe you wouldn't want to play this first. With my options, this is all I've really got to do with 3 Don. I mean, I could swing 8k, but I think 5k and 8k are going to pretty much be the same thing here. I think Bello Betty would probably take the life no matter what. I really wouldn't want to get rid of any of these cards in my hand. So, in my eyes, I'm swinging 5k, I'm taking that risk. They're going to take a life here. And then just getting this set up for late game, basically. I'll show you what late game looks like. This is a late game deck. This deck kind of sucks early, so... so with 4 Don... we get a Vankov out. We trash... Lindbergh. And then we activate his ability, and we get Inazuma out. Nah, well, we would have. I misplayed that one. And 5 into 5. And then this is the question: do I take life early? I think I do take life early. Just kind of want the cards in my hand. Yeah, and that's a really good card for us to draw, right? Your pudding is so vital. If you can get that early. Yeah, I misplayed this because I would normally attack with Inazuma, and obviously I can't do 4 to 5. It's so like this card is insane for this deck, and it is literally like a 14-cent card. It's a terrible rare normally. In OP06, when it came out, you may trash 2 cards from your hand. Your opponent returns one of their characters to the owner's hand. Now, normally, that's like, doesn't seem really worth it. For 5 Don, that seems kind of like a waste of time. But in this deck, you get to draw 2 cards and just return one of your characters to their opponent's hand. It's so fucking good. So in this case, if you really think about it, what you can use is Suru. At 9 Don, you can use Suru and Pudding together. So you can deliberately force something into their hand, and then with Pudding you can make them shuffle their entire hand into their deck, right? So these are the type of cool combos that you can do, but you just have to, you have enough Don, and that's what I'm saying. This deck is just not good early. But with 5 here, what would we do? We can just straight up play Zephyr if we want, which isn't a bad option. This is a better setup. So your turn, once per turn, when your opponent activates an event, your opponent places 1 card from their hand to the bottom of their deck. That's really good into Rayleigh, you know? So that's probably why they're utilizing her in this deck currently. I think I would have to do this. You have to get rid of Ivankov if you can. I'd get rid of this and this Kuzon. Then I'd draw a card, draw another card. We got a Searcher out of it, that's not bad. And then we've got to try and kill his units if we can. Let's get rid of Inazuma. Then let's attack with Hina, put pressure on the Bella Betty. Realistically, would I counter for that? I wouldn't. All the Sakazukis are gonna be pissed when they see a little bit. Thanks for supporting me on my channel. Of course, bro. I was in Discord with Matt, and we were talking, and I don't know how we got on the subject. We somehow got to your channel, and we were watching it together. It was funny. I appreciate you shouting my channel out and shit. You don't have to do that, dude. I appreciate that. But we were... I just ended the turn, dude. I'm not used to playing against myself. Megalol. I am, actually. Let's see. Toshigi. There's your carry gop. We were laughing at... we were like, yeah, get some music in there. And then, yeah, when we heard the New Zealand ads coming in, like, nope, like, we were laughing, obviously, it was kind of funny, but, it's not gonna matter, but just keep in mind, like, ads can be really personal, so, like, they can actually say exactly where you live, and I don't want you to unironically dox yourself through a Spotify ad, so just I'm just looking out for your safety, man. I don't think it's gonna matter, but just in case, just be careful with that shit. Yeah, got no premium, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're obviously just like screen recording, but I don't know if you're able to get DaVinci Resolve on your computer, but it's free, and dude, just like go on YouTube and just, you know, you could rip Undertale OST if you wanted to, and just plug it into DaVinci so you don't have to worry about ads, you know. But I'm not gonna. I don't know. It's just like what I would do, but do whatever you want. But just know that they are very personal, so we were kind of like, I don't know if he wants to have that information out there. I cheated here. I very much so cheated. I just accidentally ended the turn, Bellabetti turn. If I was being a dick, I would play Bellobet. I would play Pudding and then make them shuffle their whole hand, which is what I just did. But yeah, this is kind of unrealistic now. Yes, DaVinci Resolve, fancy. Yeah, my PC broke, so I have to use my shitty laptop. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, the basic editor's alright. I use it. Honestly, the YouTube editor ends up being used actually for getting rid of copyright content music. It's the only time I've ever used it. There is a feature they can do that. They can erase the song, but sometimes in the last unlisted stream I did, it wouldn't let me remove just the song. Like I had to remove the full audio. So it just depends on how strict the music is. But you can do that on YouTube, which is pretty cool. What would I do? What would I do? Yeah, but I'm not planning to do YouTube full time. So I want to. Yeah, no, and that's kind of what we figured. I was like, if you're just doing it just to like post them out there and just have like a little fun, then it's no big deal. But I don't know. Just be aware, man. Fucking people are weird out there. So, yeah, we would do that. That. Go ahead and take it. We get our blocker. Now I can show you the blocker combo. Right, so this is where this deck gets spicy, right? Now we're at 9, okay? 9 Don. So I did tell you about the combo you could do in 9 Don. Technically, you could do the Suru, right? Trash 2 cards, draw 2 cards, and then bump one of your opponent's characters, bump it to the hand, and then you can play Pudding, and then that basically eliminates that card. It takes it to the bottom of the deck, right? Which is really, really good. If they've got all their carries out in a 50-card deck, if you banish that shit to the bottom of the deck, they're not seeing that for the rest of the game. So that's basically as good as it's basically the same as a KO, right? It's the same thing. So that's a 9 play Don, 9 Don play you could do, Jesus. But I think the better move in this case is the 8 Don play, right? So we do 8. We'd get Garp out. On play, you may trash 1 card from your hand, play up to 1 blue Navy character card with a power of 8,000 or less other than Monkey D. Garp from your hand. So you've got several options here. We'd want to get rid of... Let's just get rid of one of the Surus because we've got 2 of them. Maybe get rid of the Jojo if we wanted to. But it can only be a Navy. 8. Oh, no, it's... Yeah, blue Navy, yeah. So we can get a blocker out on the field if we want. Or we can get Zephyr out, which is just a 5 cost 5k, which also allows us to draw 2 additional cards. So you've got that option. Or you could even do another Suru, right? So you can stack Suru on plays, kind of like a black deck would. But we would do the blocker here, right? Because let's take advantage of getting 2 8-Don characters out on the field in one go, right? That's a 16-Don play for 8, right? It's not bad. We get to draw a card because of Kuzon's effect. We're still left with the Don, so we can play around with that if we want. As in, we could go ahead and get Rosinante out on the field, which is on opponent's turn if one of your blue navy type character cards would be removed from field by your opponent's card effect. You may rest this character and trash 1 card from your hand instead. So that's very useful if you're going against a black deck, really. A lot of card effects. Big, you know, like Gum Gum Red Rocks and shit like that. That's when that would come in handy. This would actually be better than the Tashiki that's out on the field right now, but maybe using this last on to get an extra attack for Pudding would be better. So I think in theory here, instead of playing that, you'd want to do Pudding, swing 5k, get another card off the field, and then you're allowed to do 5k into 5k, force a life, or force a counter. These cards are just too good for Bello Betty, so they would take a life. And they get a fucking Searcher again, so that's great. But that's kind of your combo. I mean, that's like a pretty big move. And Aramaki is now relevant, because he was not relevant up until this deck, so... If I get OP 13, I will post an opening on my channel. Hell yes. I'm gonna go ahead and call it right now that you're gonna somehow pull the manga on your first recording, and then I'm gonna get really sad, but I'm gonna be really happy for you at the same time. Such a crazy combo. La da da da. You see? Do you see? I'm just like autopilot with all that, but I just did like 3 searches and I can do it again technically. So 8 into 5, and then I'd KO this one. Which, if I had Rosinante on the field, that would have prevented that, right? So 8 into 5. Realistically, would we want to block? It's going to be the highest attack that they can do this turn, right? But we have plenty of counter in our hand. That's the cool thing about this deck now. In this stage of the game, we've got plenty of counter in our hand. So realistically, we could block and then counter out. It'd be cheaper actually doing it that way. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'd block 8 on 8, and then we just get rid of the 1. Save it, and then they can only really attack with 5, so they do 5 maybe into Pudding just to try and get someone else off the board. We can do 2k counter if we want, but let's just let them have it. And we're now primo, ready to try and win the game now this time, right? So with 9 Dawn, let's just read what his main is. Activate main once per turn, discard 1 card from your hand. Return 1, cost 2 or lower character to the bottom of its owner's deck. This character gains 3,000 power for this turn. You know, that's not bad, actually. I think we'll go ahead and do that. So we'd activate that. Trash a card. Let's get rid of Rosinante. Oh, it won't let me. Oh, do I have to select what to return first? Yeah. Yeah. Then we get to draw a card. And this just now has 11k. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, then we just go for the win, right? So in theory, they don't have any blockers. Oh, I would have done a different play with Bellovetti as well. At the very end there, with a Vankov, I would have got Carousel out to replace Bellovetti. I forgot to do that at the end of that turn, so I would have done that. I was able to do that. So I'm going to pretend like I would have blocked one of these attacks. So I would have been able to. So one of these is going to be useless. So in that case, you do this, and you do this, right? And then you do 10k into life. They can't counter out of 10k. So would have blocked, right? Because I would have done that play to block. So that would have prevented that. Then you would attack here, 13 into 5. They would have taken the life at that point, but they still wouldn't have had enough counter, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. So really didn't matter the order I did that, but I didn't let Bellovetti go for 1 or 2 turns. But yeah, it's quite interesting, right? Again, late game, the combos are quite fun with this deck. Just the Garb with Aramaki combo is quite solid as well, but you can constantly get these Garbs out and constantly cycle big Navy cards from your hand to the field, and they all do certain things. They all have on plays and stuff like that as well. Like the Kuzon, you may trash one card from your hand. Up to one of your opponent's characters cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it's like you're setting up for they can't attack you, but also next turn, when you've already got this on the field, you're also swinging with 8k again, right? You've got an 8k swing with Kuzon, and you've also got the Garp to 8k swing. That's the thing. It's just it's a late game deck. You're going to be swinging with big bodies, 8k bodies, but you just got to try and make it there, and it's very hard to. I will say this deck feels more balanced than the first one I played. Like that one felt a bit better going into Bellovetti. Like I know I messed up a couple times with Bellovetti. I probably still would have won that with Bellovetti, but it did feel a bit more balanced, I would say. Sorry, let me catch up on chat. Like you did with Ty, we could play the TCG through Discord sometimes. I've had absolutely no luck so far. 3 booster boxes on my birthday. All of them are 2-hitters. So if that happens, no matter how many packs I'm posting, it's YouTube for luck. Yeah, man. If we play through Discord, probably would mute myself because I'm pretty shy and don't like public speaking. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But the only thing I'll say with that is it's kind of hard to play against someone if they're not saying what they're doing, because you can only get the Discord quality so good. Like, so when I played against Ty Day, but anytime we're playing in Discord, I'm going to be honest with you, I can barely see what their cards say through my phone, because again, I'm in the other room. Okay, so I'm in another room. I'm watching it through my phone on like a top down while I'm doing it. So I'm watching their screen, and I'm like this at the angle too. I'm like this. I'm like, it's really hard to see because I've got to try and get it perfect to be a top down. And it's really hard to actually see. The good thing is I know what most of the cards do, so I just kind of know what they're doing. But that's the difference. That's why I prefer the sim, because you can just read everything, so you don't have to like worry about call outs. But in person it's a little bit more difficult, I would say. That's the only downside. But yeah, that's a good point though. I would just have chat up, you know. But it's just annoying if I'm like, okay, what does that card do? And then it's like, I gotta wait for you to explain it in chat. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal, but it's just little things like that. But I get it. That being said, though, Nixon, I've talked about it, but hopefully the fucking Bandai are gonna actually release the real sim. Like, they're actually gonna release a game. like a Master Duel, like an actual, you know, real simulator, so that we can actually start playing a game that, because this is really good, don't get me wrong, you get every single card, you get all the options, you can customize a lot. It's not a game though, is it? It's just it's truly a simulator. It's truly meant to build decks and like test things out, which I am all for. It's a money save as well, and it really helps experimenting with stuff, and it's fun, you know. But if they start getting like ranked modes, if they start having like if it's an actual game to grind, that's something that I will be streaming probably every day. You know, I'll probably main that. Like that would be like, fuck it. You know, let's grind leaderboards for the One Piece TCG sim when it's like, you know, official. And that would probably be where, you know, that would be fun to get people in, you know, and get and that's when we have an actual proper streaming community, and we start doing tournaments. Because the thing about tournaments right now is you can't do it on this, you know, and the only way I can do it right now is if we do it in person. If the game is, if it's an actual AAA title, it will have built-in spectator mode. It should have built-in tournament mode if they know what they're fucking doing, and you know, then we can actually start hosting proper things and, you know, having fun. It will probably not be free. If I know how all of these TCG games go, hopefully it's more like Master Duel. The thing about Master Duel is it was grindable, so it's free to play, but you had to fucking grind your ass off. But that's fine because it was fun at the time. It stopped being fun when you had to play against the meta decks that were meta. But yeah, that's fine if it's a grind. I don't mind that. It's not unobtainable to get some of the decks, right? But they're going to have microtransactions. They're going to have like a gem system. They're going to have opening packs, because that's how all of this works, right? And they'll probably have structure decks. If they were smart, they're going to have built-in structure decks. And that's maybe the best thing to run when you're like, you know, learning, and then also like if you don't have enough currency or enough gems or whatever to build a custom deck, the structure decks are good enough to play and compete. So that's the one good thing that One Piece has going for it. So that's probably how they'll do it, and I'm for that. I kind of want it to be like that, because I kind of want another game to grind as well, that has like a leaderboard, that has a ranked, that like has competitive scene. And I think, unfortunately, this isn't it. I would love it to be this, but it's just, you know, fan-made. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be the goal. I'll probably build your Shanks deck real quick. I'm probably going to go to bed here soon, because I got to get up early to watch Forest play. I was late anyway. I was supposed to get on at like 9, but I got sidetracked and was talking with Ty Day, so I was a little later than I wanted to be tonight, to be honest. Would have played some more games, but I had some fun. We tried out Vicky Warrior. We tried out the Kuzan deck at least. Now that I've got them built, I will probably maybe play tomorrow again, maybe go live again, and we'll actually start doing some 1v1s and learning these decks. So I've got a solid amount now. Got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 decks. So plenty to learn. I know I only know one of them off by heart, my Bella Betty deck. Enel I know. It's annoying. But I want to try out the OP13 ones. I want to try out Ace. Ace seems very interesting. I think that might be the first one I'd play against. Because 6k power leader with 3 cost or 3 life just seems very interesting. I've never really played somebody like that before. Every leader I've played has always had 4 life. So 5 life is a breath of fresh air for me as well. But so Izo is your searcher, I assume. So look at 5 cards from top of your deck, reel up to 1 card with a type, including Whitebeard Pirates, other than Izo, add it to your hand, place the rest at the bottom. On opponent's attack, you may trash this character, draw 1 card, and place 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. You can just do that whenever on opponent's attack. That's interesting. Would you ever want to do that? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Would this include event cards? Yeah. I meant to get that one, but I just... Okay. Testing. Okay, cool. Probably search again. Into 1 card with a cost of 3 or more. Add it to your hand. That's all it is. 3 or more. It's really good. Oh shit! That's insane! I just read that. Okay. I know how that combo works now. I'll tell you later. Okay, so now we've got 2 options. So we attack with Raise Max. We can use Ezos if we want. Trash this character, draw 1 card, place 1 card from hand to bottom of your deck. Which may not be a bad idea. Or I could show you my boogie deck. It's in the only set of sleeves that I have. Yeah. I know the boogie decks are really strong. They're kind of boring though. Like Ty's sick of it. He's like it's so good, but I just like you win. You play the same way every single time. There's like very little nuance. Like it's just you just get this card out, and then you just play the 10 cost boogies and you win the game. I don't know if you're running Shoe Boogie. You need to run Shoe Boogie in that deck, but it's so stupid. If this local's near me, I'm using it 100%. What, Boogie? Yeah. Yeah, Boogie's strong right now. Well, he may have dropped out of the meta, actually. I don't know. He was like the 4th best deck. Probably a month ago now. I've just been so out of it for a couple weeks now in the scene. So I've literally like missed like 2 weeks of meta decks. I was on it for like a good couple months. And then just like this past couple weeks, I haven't played OP 12 that much, not OP 13 decks either. But when OP 11 was out, I was playing the OP 12 decks on the sim, so I knew all about Zoro and how stupid it was before. Okay, so We don't want to use Ezo ability. I don't really want to put one of these in the bottom of my deck. If anything, I would put the event card down there because I didn't mean to grab it. But with this, once per turn, if you receive damage, your character with 6 more is KO, draw a card. So, okay, so it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, we just go ahead and use this. Oh shit! No. Yeah, I'm doing the nope. I'm not doing the once per turn. I'm doing the on opponent's attack. I did not mean. I don't want to do that. No, that's not worth. Not right now. We'll just take the lob. Oh, that just happens automatically. Okay. Once per turn, if you receive damage, you just draw a card. Okay, that just happened. Okay, I thought I had to activate that, but no. The Ace's ability is a 2-part ability. Okay. I picked up the Ace Newgate deck last week. It's pretty damn good on its own. That's the deck that Ty's telling me I should play. Like, this is just OP13. Red blue ace, but apparently the Ace Newgate deck is really good. It could be the same. It's not the same, is it? Let's look it up. Bling 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 bling. Yeah, started deck 22. It is. Yeah, it's the same card. That Ezo is the same one that we've just been playing with. Here it is. Actually, main once per turn, you may reveal one card from the type, including wipe the cards from your hand, draw one card, and place the reveal card at the top of your deck. Oh, I know exactly. Yeah, I remember why this deck's good. Because then what's the Newgate do? Double attack. Reveal one card from the top of your deck. If that card includes Whitebeard Pirates, draw 2 cards. Yeah, well, with your leader ability, you're constantly being able to do that. And then you've got the Whitebeard. Oh, so that is in here. So this is actually from that starter deck. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Yeah, it's a good deck. Very good deck. I can't remember. What did Ty... Which one did Ty get? I think he got the... I know he got... I think he got Vista, Newgate, and the leader. I think those were the exclusives that he got. I don't know, which ones did you get? What were the alternate arts? Yeah, I guess that's why you have the aces in there. Because you want them to discard them. You don't really need them. Okay. And I'm not really doing a good job of explaining what I'm doing, but it doesn't really matter too much. That's crazy. Okay. I think if I played this in person, I've just got to continue to, because the thing about the sim is it's automatically drawing the card when you've taken damage. But I just have to remember in person you'd have to do that every single time. It's really cool. It's a really cool mechanic. You got Marco Vista and the Decliven Brothers, or whatever their names are. Yeah, what the fuck are they? Ah, these guys. Yeah. I only remember them because they were in, because Matt recently was watching, I keep thinking Paramount War because it's the set I opened, but you know, the main, yeah, they're in there. The big old wall. Marineford. Only got 7 dom. Yeah, I really want 8 dom to try and use this ability. This deck is crazy. There's so much potential in it. Okay. So we go, let's go. Bump the blocker. You got so many cards in your hand with this deck. It's good though. They have to take this damage. They can't counter out of it. It's a really good trade. And then I would just... Yeah, I could actually just trash a card straight up. And then just minus 2k. Wow! Okay. I understand. This deck goes crazy, actually. You're going to have a lot of cards in your hand. So you're always going to be able to be okay with trashing a card to minus 2,000 during a battle. It's very good. It's annoying. I'm trying to get this fucking combo. Okay. I think this is it. Okay. If I'm correct... this is the crazy play that you do. 9 Don with the cards that I have in my hand. Fucking hell, okay. So we play the event card first. 8 Don. We get to play a new gate from our hand, right? So we go ahead and play the 10 cost blocker 12k. Right? We have to take a life to do this. If we want, we don't have to. Then you may add or take one life if you do one of your leaders gains 2,000 pounds at the end of your opponent's next turn. We don't want to do that. So we just choose to not take a life. So we just get to summon that on the field. Is on play, draw 2 cards, trash 1 card from your hand. So we just drew 2 cards. So we'll trash a ace because it doesn't do anything. It's only 2k counter for us. So we trash that. And then give up to your leader or up to one of your characters up to 2 rested Don cards. So let's go ahead and give that to ace. Fuck, I didn't have 10 Don. I had 9 Don. Okay. It's okay. Oh, give up to your leader and up to your character's 2 rested Don. Jesus. Okay. Why not? Okay. So, 10 Don. I thought I'd have another Don. You would then play Uta. Okay. So I thought I would have 2 Don left. So I fucked that up. I forgot that I didn't have 10 Don. But if you have a character with 10,000 power or more, give this card in your hand -4 cost. This becomes a 2 cost 4k blocker, right? So then I would have played that. So in other words, I would have been able to get a 10 cost 12k blocker, a 2 cost 4k blocker, and buff my leader and buff one of the characters on my field. It's a crazy combo. But fuck. I thought I had 1 extra Don. It's okay though. So we just swing here. I know KOing this kind of sucks because they heal off it, but let's go and rip the band-aid and get it out the way. We'll do 7 into this. Let's say they block. And we do 8 into that. They're not going to block that. And that's how we drain the resource. Draw a card. State search. You grab a Vankov. Play a Vankov. Get in Zuma. And then you would trash Morley. 3, 3, 3. And then let's see if you can handle this, because this is the true force of Bella Betty. 4 very, very meaty attacks. So let's see how Ace would handle this, right? So we'd do 8 into 6. Yeah, I mean, this is easy. It's just easy. 8 into 6. I mean, we can just counter out if we want. We can go ahead and trash a card, give them -2, and then we only need to do 1,000 counter. That's probably what we do, right? So let's just trash a Jozu, -2,000, and then get rid of another Jozu. That's 1 block done. And then they'd attack 9 into 6. That's a pretty hefty attack, so we'd just block that one for 12. They'd do 7 into 6. They only need 2k counter for that, so let's go ahead and get rid of one of the Utas. 2k counter. And then they do 9 into 6, which is a bit heavier. We still have Radical Beam. So we then use Radical Beam. It gets us straight to 10 because we've got less life, because we're always going to have less life. So Radical Beam is actually really good on Ace. And that's how we prevent 1, 2, 3, 4 major attacks. We've still got 6 cards in hand. They've only got 1 card. They've utilized pretty much everything, expanded everything for that, which is what you do with Bella Betty. Still got 3 life. Now we have Tendon. Now we can do a move. We can actually do the move I wanted to do before. So, we would do the I Am Whitebeard. We would play this Whitebeard. If your leader's type includes Whitebeard Pirates, if you have 2 or less life cards until the end of your opponent's next turn, all of your opponent's characters cannot attack until they first discard 2 cards from their hand, which is a bit toxic. We don't have to take a life, because no, I'm good. Now we have the play that I said. So now we have Uta should be only 2 cost now. Allows us to play the 2 cost. So now we have a chump 2k, 2 cost 4k blocker, basically. We've got a 12k blocker. We just got Newgate a 10 cost 12k out. Now they have to discard 2 cards to attackers. GG. You know? Fucking GG. This is crazy. So, realistically here, are we going for game? Yeah. Right? 6 into 5. They don't have 2k counter. I mean, you wouldn't use trigger. Didn't get counter. Unlucky. You now 6 into 6 again. You can't counter out of it. Gotta take a life. You get 1k counter. Okay. 7 into 5. You can only get 2k counter. You need 3. So we played that correctly. Now they have counter. But do they have enough for 12? The answer is no. 1, 2, 3. They get to 9. And GG. It's not bad. It's not bad. I only play Boogie because, like you said, should be down. Yeah. Yeah, Boogie's, when I first played him, I did enjoy him. I was like, I think it was more just like I was glad to see Boogie had a deck, you know? Just glad to see that Boogie gets, get something. Yeah, it's a pretty good deck, man. That's OP13. So that, I guess if you are looking for pulls, this is the only, I hate this. I hate this that I'm doing this now. The only downside to all this is I know that Yamato is in OP13. You know what I mean? It's spoiled for me now. So when I pull that, I'm still gonna hopefully pog when I pull it. You know, it's still an SR, it still looks cool. You know, you can't look at that picture and go, oh, it looks the same in person. It obviously looks completely different in person, but it's not as much of a surprise. You know, I kind of know what I need for this deck now. But this deck does require 4 SRs for Newgate and 4 SRs for Yamato. PRB02 Marco. So you need 4 of those. That's going to be very hard. They'll probably be expensive. Everything else here is obtainable. Pretty cheap. OP13 for Otama. So when we pull the Otamas, I'll be mentioning that in the video. It's a cool artwork too. But that is the rare. It's a rare, so okay, definitely need that. Yamato from EBO2, I know Tai Day has at least one of those. Jozu from OPO2. And then the Garp, okay. So the Garp rare, the Otama rare, and then Yamato secret, SRs and Newgate SRs are going to be what you're going to get from OP13 for this. So honestly, the good thing about this deck, really not that much. You know, I mean, I mean, honestly, a lot of OP13 decks are going to run at least 4 copies of like 2 of the SRs in the set, so that's kind of normal. I think out of the other decks, like the Emu and the Roger, this is probably going to be the cheaper one. So that Newgate just seems really good, though. That was an insane play. I got very high when Boogie became an Emperor in one of. Very interesting. Yep. Yep. Monkey see, monkey do. Monkey corgi bird. My favorite character is now a Yonko. It's so funny, isn't it? Oh, it's so good, dude. Buggy's so funny. It's actually fun. It's I don't know. It's like a revelation. It's almost like when you first start the anime, you're like an actual clown. Like you're like, okay, he's pretty cool, but like, but then just as the show progresses, Impel Down for me was like when the scene, you know, the scene I'm talking about. You know, just peek. He's a yoga just because some random ass guy put Boogie above everyone else at the poster. That's my favorite thing about Boogie as a character. He's like actually accidentally sold himself into becoming like, you know, like has the highest bounty, but obviously doesn't justify it. Have you heard about the theory with Boogie, though? Have you heard? I think Ty talked about it. I don't know if we talked about it on a video or not. But the theory of Boogie's potential ability, if he actually, you know, utilized it to its full extent. Have you heard about what it could technically do? So, what was the name? I think they called it nuclear. I think literally like nuclear bomb Boogie. Like, okay, so based on his ability, he can literally like he can literally slice himself down into like atoms. So he could like he could technically legitimately make himself into little atom bombs, and he could legitimately be the strongest character in the show. If you take his ability and you break it down and you put science to it, he legitimately could be the strongest character in the entire show, if he was ever to utilize his ability in that way, right? So the joke and the meme, right, that Ty and I were pushing was that it's the Shanks meme. It's like Shanks basically says, "Okay, Boogie, actually show everyone what you're capable of," right? And then he actually becomes the atomic bomb Boogie, and he just starts just dropping A-bombs on everyone, like. And he's immune to sword. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. He's like, it gets to the point where he can legitimately, he can slice himself up to the point where you can't actually physically like hit him. It's crazy. It's crazy. But that'll never happen because he's a fucking clown. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why it's just a really good character design that Oda's done. He's basically potentially made the strongest character have he's made a character have a really, really good fruit, but he doesn't really know how to utilize it to its full extent, and made the character sort of, you know, Boogie, you know, and it just works. It just works, but it's just ironic that he actually could, if he were to fully utilize his power, legitimately be insane, like just be absolutely insane, actually justify the bounty he has, you know what I mean? So it's funny. wrapped himself into anybody and immobilized them in like a nanosuit. Yeah. Where did this theory come from? Ty told me about it, and I'm pretty sure it's he legitimately just read the whole manga like in less than a month. So he's full caught up, Nixon. It's now miserable watching the anime with him because we can't talk. Like we watched the last episode, and I was like, oh, and he's like, well, I can't say anything now. So if you want to theory craft for 20 minutes, you can, because I already know what's gonna happen. I'm like, great. Like now I have to read it. Like I've got no choice now. I have to fucking read the manga. Here, let me see if I can look it up. The atomic bomb buggy theory is a fan theory from the One Piece manga and anime that suggests that the character Buggy the Clown could awaken his Chop Chop fruit to create nuclear level explosions. Yes, dude. I'm telling you, atomic bomb buggy. So I assume his awakening could give him the ability to split other objects apart, right? Because when you awaken your devil fruit, as you maybe know or don't know yet, Nixon, you should know, because Doffy definitely awakened his, right, in Dressrosa. But obviously it affects the environment around you, right? So the suggestion is that if he awakens his fruit, he would be able to split other objects apart. And if he can split other atoms apart, then he can fucking... he can fucking make atom bombs, bro. It's like he's making nuclear fusions every time he's fucking awakened. It's crazy. It's crazy. Here, let me just... I'll show the screen. Let's read it together. This is from 3 years ago, too. I don't know if this is the actual theory, but... Could just be lore, yeah. The trouble with making nuclear fusion as an effective weapon is that many billions or even more atoms have to be split to effectively... This is the shit I'm talking about, dude. You want to talk about nerds? This guy 3 years ago was talking about a theory for 5 votes, and I'm reading this shit right now. Fucking crazy. What a world we live in. Even with all the arms and legs that Robin has created and controlled, she's never been able to show to control billions or even close to that. So I'm sure that there's an upper limit to the awakened ability. Also, there's the excellent point others have made that Buggy splitting himself doesn't cause him damage and is temporary. Look at this guy. I assume it'd be pretty uneventful, honestly. Atoms are tiny, and whenever Buggy is cut, it doesn't really damage. So, you know, there'd just be 2 halves of an atom floating around. Do you know what splitting an atom does? You can't have 2 halves of an atom floating around. Because it's an anime, and if he mastered his fruit and could split other objects, then I'm sure he could choose to split it forcefully or peacefully. That's funny. I mean, look, this is a whole debate. I mean, people are fucking actually nerding out about this. I don't know, actually. You know, it's like, just have fun with the goddamn theory. Jesus. He just hates Boogie. He can't believe that his favorite character is weaker than a fucking clown. True. True, dude. I'm telling you, Boogie's got stonks. I'm there. Obviously, his just him being him is honestly you know, probably enough for him to make it in like the top 3. You know, just even if he's not that strong, he's going to be perceived like that because he's just, you know, he's going to be the scapegoat, you know what I mean? But I would unironically really love it if he just pulled some shit like that and just became Atomic Boogie. He became basically because of fucking Avenger, you know what I mean? Right, though. Oh, it's the ace deck again. Matt, I just played with it. It's fucking crazy. Are you also testing the decks today? Have you seen the meme with Lucci and Luffy and Eggeg? Oh, yeah. Have you seen the meme that I've got in the background here? That's why I added it. I've actually been playing around with the decks in the past, like, hour or so. But I'm actually about to get off because I've got to get up pretty early. But yeah, I'm going to be playing around with these a lot more. I just wanted to build a lot of these today. We built 17 decks. We have, I would say, 7 off meta, 7 on meta, and 1 wild one. The Bicky Warrior, the special. You've heard it, you see it here first. This is stonks right here. This deck is fucking stupid. It is off meta. You're thinking this isn't legal. Read the fucking card. Per the rules, you may have any number of this card included in your deck. This is basically a permanent. You're permanently gonna have 2 blockers on the field every turn, no matter what. If you have space, you'll have 2 blockers permanently, and then you just have a bunch of really useful event cards to counter to survive, and that's it. And you just overwhelm them with what I like to call the Bicky Warriors or the Cracker Soldiers. So, I think somebody made a YouTube video about it, so it's known, but it's still a bit underground. Enel is a counter, but right now it's really good against Rayleigh, so it's a good counter into that if you're struggling against that in locals. Emu will be a problem. That's the OP13. So we're trying out some of the OP13 ones. Zoro actually gets... I don't know why. Zoro is the meta right now, and this is actually an OP13 version. So he actually gets more support for his deck, which I think is stupid because it's already broken enough as it is. We talked about this earlier, but there's this new Zoro that they add and this lore. And if you use these as a combo, basically this becomes like a 2-cost 5k, and this becomes like a... I can't remember. If you have 1 less of this game's blocker. No, yeah, so it's a 6-cost... In other words, for 6 Don, you can get a 6-cost 6k blocker out, and you can get a 2-cost 5k swing out next turn. It's crazy. He's already strong. I don't know why he needed any more support, but that's cool. Calgara off meta. It's a new off meta deck. He got some updates in OP12. Pretty common off meta deck too. But I saw Lim being played in OP13. Not sure why. Maybe it's relevant again. Maybe it just works well with the meta, but I never really liked Lim, to be honest. I haven't watched it since the start of the 2-year break. I've seen the Zoro, but yeah. Yeah, Matt needs to catch up. But I am going to probably get off. We've got Burnley tomorrow, lads. Burnley! It should be a fucking easy win. I'm going to let you know right now, if I wake up at 9 o'clock and Forest lose to fucking Burnley, Ange out, that's number 1. I know this is all Chinese to you, but Ange out, okay? Because that was a fucking mistake in the first place. And I'm going to be fucking pissed off all day, because we should be winning this. If we win 2-0, though, I'll probably be streaming, and I'll be nice and happy on Saturday night. And we'll get a couple drinks down us, maybe play, like I say, some One Piece Sim. Tune up, and then we can do some 1v1s if you want. Get everything updated and downloaded. There was an update, I think, 2 weeks ago on the sim. The link on my video should still work, so if you need a link, just go on my YouTube. I've got a tutorial on how to download it. I laughed at one of the some comments said this is the worst tutorial I've ever seen in my life. Doesn't work. Link doesn't even work. This is shit. And I click on the link and it works, and it literally takes 2 minutes to download. I'm like, there's only so much help you can give. You can only hold someone's hand so much. Okay, but it's easy. Just go download it, and then tomorrow I'll probably start actually playing with these decks against people and not like myself. But I do want to. I learn better when I play against somebody and not against myself. So I do want to run these. Rebecca's going to be an interesting one too. Black blue. So I'm excited. I'm excited to learn all these. Let's go red. What is their problem? Who, Forest? Or Tide? I don't even know. I don't even know what you're asking. I'm sorry. I did make a Bonnie deck, right? Yeah. I'd very much, anyone here still, I'd highly recommend you build this deck as well. Bonnie has stayed pretty consistent in every meta for the past... What she's been, I mean, her leader's been out since OP07, but... Bonnie's just a really good green card. There's Mihawk and Hoddy Jones. And then you just wait until you get your Shanks and Doffy drops, and it's just yeah. It's a really expensive deck though. 4 Cavendishes is a lot. And there's that Bonnie that we pulled, the secret rare, so she is used in this deck as well. So it is a very playable card. And we play with our 150-year-old I use Bonnie, but I haven't opened much OP12 yet. Yeah, neither have I, to be honest. We just opened up the double packs and the booster box. I can't remember if I said it, but both Ty and Ty Day have pulled the Zoro SPs in their boxes that they opened, and they both have the alternate art leaders. So, actually, I think Ty Day pulled an extra SP, so I think we're gonna trade for that SP. I would love to still pull one, but, you know, because I need that SP, man. That purple SP looks so clean. So, I don't know. I'm in so much debt. I owe Ty and Ty Day so much, so many cards for trade. It's crazy. They're just targeting me. They're like, yeah, we're just gonna get all the Zoro cards, and then we're just gonna force trades out of you. Which is fine. What I really need is the Perona alternate art, because that's a guaranteed trade for Ty. But yeah. Damn, those prices dropped. You could just get the star deck. They've only opened one page. Ironically, Nixon, star decks are really hard to find over here. Like, you're actually more likely to find a pack than a star deck sometimes, unless you go to a card show and or like really specific. You have to go to like a bookstore and then maybe you'll find one. But damn, this card looks so clean, man. These have dropped like crazy. These were like 3K. I mean, I don't know why they did Teach. They shouldn't have done Teach here. But these have dropped like crazy. Like, look at this. It's really bad. Like, this is the thing. You've got to know what to hedge your bets on. I would never be betting on a Teach from a collector value. I wouldn't be betting on this for value. But like, yeah, of course, like the 2 cards I want, they've held their value. This, so Matt, if you're still here, Ty said that this in person is easily the best SP. He said the Zoro looks okay, but he said out of all of them, this color complements this, like, it's insane. The gold, the black and gold, apparently the texture looks crazy. And you can even see the texture is gold on there, you know? So, I think if there was going to be a chase for you, I think that's a PC right there. That, honestly, this is that cool of a card. This is like a PSA 10, you know? That shit's on your desk, you know what I mean? That's like a sealed stuff. Yeah, these alternate arts look so. These are my. I think these are my favorite alternate art leaders they've ever done. Such a cool idea. Zoro does not like Kaku. There's a lot of start decks for sale in my country, which is how I got the ST21 so easily. Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible. Apparently, I'm actually curious. Shameless plug. Go check out the eBay. What is it? SSP. The fuck? He's got a wanted poster? What the fuck? OP13? Poggers my dollars, Matt. What? Ho 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 ho. What the fuck? I didn't know that. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Oh, it's the Japanese though. We want the English. $269 though. Here's No one's selling one in English? What the fuck? Cheeseburger Man TCG. Oh, here you go. No, Japanese 92. Japanese, honestly, for $92 for a 10 Japanese, that is a fucking steal. I mean, I know it's Japanese, but it's got to be a $200 card then, maybe 180. Why am I not seeing any sold? Has no one graded them? The scalpers lost this one. Oh, here's the one. Here's the Shanks. It's all Japanese though. We want the English. That's not how you spell English, but... I don't have it on my... I guess it's only an app. I thought I might be able to look it up through here, but I'll have to do it through my phone. Yeah, I don't know. I guess not. I can't find any last sold, or at least just on eBay here. PSA 10, but honestly, it could be a nice little grail card for you. Those are the type of things I've been looking at the card show. I mean, honestly, 70 raw is a pretty good steal, I think, for these SPs. You gotta, like, look at it. It's just like, I don't know how you can look at that SP and go, nah, maybe. I mean, these are still cool, but I don't know. I just think those look objectively better. I think these are cool. The thing about the other ones, they have more texture. They've got more gold going on, so it just depends. It's all very, subjective. But I think this doesn't do it justice. I think in person, the hollow bleed on this stuff and the texture on the black just looks incredible. It's a cool set. It's really a shame because I feel like out of the last 3 sets, I feel like I should have opened more of this than the others. I just think these cards feel not only more playable, but there's 1, like 2, 3, 4, 5, like easily 6 or 7 major chase cards I would want for the PC. Easily. OP11 felt the same too, but I don't know, it's just only going on. It's only getting better and better, and it's annoying. How much is the gold on Luffy gone down in price? That's a good question. But, not by that much. It's still pretty steady. Yeah, the problem with these cards, these are just like, these were impossible to pull. And anyone that did pull them has, they've been brought up. Let's look at, this set fucking, that's so shameless. Sanji going, that's like 50, that's a 50% decrease. That was 100. I mean, this was 100 too. I mean, all these have gone down. Like, if you were gonna buy, this is the greatest time to buy. I mean, like, I remember Newgate being 200. Like, these have plummeted. OP10 got absolutely axed. It's ironic that Cavendish is actually the one I complained about. Ironically, now is like on. It's more expensive than the goddamn Kuzan, which is like this is the chase. Like this card it goes so hard. This is like one of my, I could never get that card. So like this Kuzan and this Smoker, all my chases. We still need to get Matt the Treasurer too. But this set, I mean, plummeted, man. Yeah, no wonder this is selling. I think I've got this listed for $20 still. Yeah. It's down to 10. Jesus. Yeah. So now you know. I mean, OP10's probably not the best packs to get if you see them in the wild, but let's check if there's a new one. Yeah, exactly, man. And what's annoying about that is that that lore is actually playable. Like, that's the best leader lore there is. So, but even so, yeah. So the manga, yeah, the Roger is actually still, that's still more expensive consistently than the Luffy. I ended up trading my Vegapunk to Ty, so I can get one of the get one of the many cards I wanted that we pulled. So a Ty may end up actually running that as an off-meta deck. Cool. The bow. Yeah, definitely. It's not as hyped as it used to be. Right, lads. I'm getting tired. It's 2:30. I need to go to bed. Watch this match tomorrow. But it was fun. Just built some decks. 17 decks to be specific. And we'll probably run it back tomorrow, like I say. So if you're available tomorrow night, stop on by and we'll run it. I want to try and mess around with some of those decks. If I'm like mega tired or something crazy comes up, then next week. I know beginning of next week I've got my buddy actually from New Zealand coming in town, ironically Nixon, so that's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I'm probably gonna be AFK for Monday through Wednesday, but I want to try and get back into a schedule for streaming and stuff. So Matt and I were thinking about even doing like some co-op games as well. We unfortunately figured out we can't play some of these games at the same time, but I'm sure that we'll find a workaround. So that's gonna be quite fun as well. But that's gonna do it for everyone. That's gonna do it for now, everyone. I'm tired. Anyway, night. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night, everyone. Bye-bye.